Good Tuesday evening, December 17th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Waterville Medical Clinic was tardy in filing its required financial reports and incorrectly classified its grant funding. The state auditor's report is straight ahead. The fire agency serving the city of Quincy will lose its longtime chief this year. After this wet weather moves out of our area overnight, get ready for gusty winds and warmer temperatures on Wednesday. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. A man from Kent is charged with theft after allegedly posing online as an attorney and stealing nearly $9,000 from a victim in Wenatchee. Wenatchee police believe starting in April, Arlen Jamal Williams used the identity of a registered attorney and offered to help a Wenatchee man in a civil dispute with a car dealership. He allegedly billed the man repeatedly for services he did not provide and took payments through Cash App. Chelan County prosecutors charged Williams in October with first-degree theft and criminal impersonation. He was summoned to appear in Superior Court this afternoon. The Waterville Medical Clinic was tardy in filing its required financial reports and incorrectly classified its grant funding. That's the finding of a report from the Washington State Auditor's Office, which says the publicly managed clinic missed filing deadlines for 2021, 2022, and 2023. The clinic is managed by Douglas County Hospital District 2 with patient care provided through Confluence Health. The district says the problems occurred under a prior administrator who's since been dismissed, and its record keeping has now been brought up to date. The hospital district has a roughly $300,000 budget supported by taxpayers. The pygmy rabbit, the endangered critter that lives only in the Columbia Basin sagebrush country, will remain on Washington's endangered species list. The State Fish and Wildlife Commission held its periodic review of the animal's status over the weekend and voted overwhelmingly to maintain its protections. The pygmy rabbit is found in Rimrock Meadows, Sagebrush Flats, and other regions of Douglas and Grant counties. There are only an estimated 96 rabbits left in the Washington wildlands, due in large part to habitat loss. The commission vote Saturday was unanimous. 2024 was a busy year for the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, the unified agency that handles emergencies for the heart of Chelan and Douglas counties. But there was some good news to report too, as Chief Brian Brett says in this video roundup produced by the department.
This summer, wildfire danger was at an all-time high in the Wenatchee Valley, and due to our proactive efforts, the threat was greatly reduced. Wenatchee Valley Fire Department has responded to over 300 possible brush fires, with around 60 becoming actual working wildland fires in the 2024 season. We are proud to say that we didn't lose a single structure. We have a highly trained workforce to handle wildland fires, as well as 2 department-owned helicopters that are used in cooperation with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources to assist with not only local fires, but also fires in the neighboring communities that amounted to over 160 hours of flight time in the 2024 season. Public education is also a major focus throughout the year. We partnered with local HOAs, teaching residents how to prepare their homes and properties for fire season. In the fall, we helped assist our cooperators, the Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, and State Department of Natural Resources, with prescribed burning to lessen the intensity and threat of wildfires to our community. This paid off significantly during the July 6th beehive fire we had this summer. Wenatchee Valley firefighters also worked across the West this season. Doing so not only allows us to help other communities, but to also continue learning and improving so we can protect our community to the highest degree. We get help from the region, therefore we reciprocate and help around the region. Our mission is to save lives and protect property. That means we focus on reducing the risk and effects of wildfires, keeping your homes and loved ones safe.
When we come back, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office has received funding to replace the radio and audio systems inside the agency's aircrafts. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust is celebrating the winter solstice this weekend with a morning hike, and the U.S. Forest Service is looking for nominees to fill 8 upcoming vacancies on a committee that serves the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanogan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
The fire agency serving the city of Quincy will lose its longtime chief this year. Chief Anthony Liebelt will step down after 36 years serving the community at Grant County Fire District 3. His agency responds to emergencies in Quincy as well as Crescent Bar, Winchester, George, and other rural communities. Liebelt joined the department in 1988. Among other incidents, Liebelt and his wife Carol were instrumental in responding to the terrifying rollover crash of a bus carrying the University of Washington marching band back on Thanksgiving of 2018. They were honored that year as American Red Cross hometown heroes. Liebelt became an overall department chief for Fire District 3 in 2021. The agency plans a retirement open house in his honor at the Quincy Fire Station. That'll be coming up at 2 p.m. this Friday. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office has received funding to replace the radio and audio systems inside the agency's aircrafts. Sheriff Mike Morrison reported his office secured over $55,000 from the Communication Tax Shared Funding Assistance Program. The request for funding was approved by the Rivercom 911 Board. The grant funding will cover the cost and installation of new radios and audio panels in both aircrafts. The Sheriff's Office says this funding helps highlight its effort to secure external resources in order to meet operational needs while keeping taxpayers in mind. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust is celebrating the winter solstice with the morning hike. This Saturday, December 21st, is the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. The Land Trust is inviting the community to celebrate the sun with a sunrise hike from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. There will be warm beverages and an intention-setting activity at the end of the hike for all of those who participate. If you're interested in joining, register on the Chelan Douglas Land Trust website so the nonprofit can plan for the right amount of materials. The U.S. Forest Service is looking for nominees to fill 8 upcoming vacancies on a committee that serves the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. The 15-member Resource Advisory Committee also serves the Tonasket Ranger District of the Colville National Forest. Open positions include organized labor or non-timber forest product harvester groups, American Indian tribes, dispersed recreation activities, and archaeological and historical interests. A full list and committee information and packets can be found on the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest website. Completed packets should be submitted before January 13th of 2025. Coming up next, a new composting program is making Wenatchee High School more environmentally friendly. We'll tell you more in tonight's feature story. Warmer and windy weather on tap for Wednesday. I'll tell you what we can expect coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Enjoy a simpler time and place where the holidays bring family and friends closer together. Chelan Cellars and Sorrento's Restaurante on the shores of Lake Chelan. Join us this holiday season.
Come on up to the Winter Wonderland at Tipsy Canyon Winery. Thursdays feature live music, bonfires, spectacular lights, cozy vibes, and that now famous view. Add award-winning wines and you've got it all right here. You've arrived in Tipsy Canyon country.
Are you a good listener? Do you stay curious when exploring conflicts? Can you manage emotions in stressful situations? Do you want to help people create solutions that work for each person's needs, lives, and culture? We need people like you to learn to be volunteer mediators, and we're here to help. Contact your local dispute resolution center to discuss your interests and learn about training opportunities.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
A new composting program is making Wenatchee High School more environmentally friendly. All the compostable waste that would have previously headed to a landfill now goes to Winton Manufacturing Compost Works in Leavenworth. The program began earlier this year after Earth Club president and Wenatchee High School senior Eva Philippi wanted to help make a lasting impact on the school. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News met with Philippi to see how the program is doing.
I noticed that we create a lot of waste with breakfast and lunch, and all of it was going to landfill, and I just know how bad that is for the environment, so I contacted Winton Manufacturing, and Robette was really excited to work with me, and so she and the Rotary Club helped us do an initial waste audit in the cafeteria, and we discovered that about 70% of our waste was compostable. So then me and Daniel Deal, my advisor, bought 10 compost bins for the cafeteria. One of the first things I did for the composting program was reduce the amount of trash bins in our cafeteria. There was about probably 30 or 25, and they're huge and they don't get filled up all the way. But the problem that the janitors had was if they did get filled up, it'd be too heavy to transport. So compost is some of the most heavy trash that accumulates. So taking that out of the trash bins kind of distributes the weight more, and we can condense our trash into less bins, and that leads to less trash bags being used. And it's especially good because the trash bins are made out of petroleum, which creates more carbon. I've seen a lot of growth with the students, and I've seen people teaching other students how to compost, which is really cool. And there's a lot of people that still make mistakes, but it's getting easier as people learn how to sort themselves. And we've gotten some community volunteers from Rotary and Sustainable NCW to help monitor the bins. I made some signs. I tried to make them pretty clear. I put it's like pictures because I got some feedback that they don't like to read. So I just put compost here and some pictures of what they can put in the compost. Every day I either monitor the bins and replace the bags and take it out to the compost bins, or sometimes I can't monitor, but I will come at the end of lunch and replace the bags. So it's usually about an hour of my time per per day. Instead of going to the landfill, the food and everything compostable will now be turned into dirt at Winton, and they have special setups to make the process quicker than normal. So they aerate the food and they turn it around and have it at good temperature. So then they sell that dirt to farmers, and that completes the cycle of the dirt growing into plants, which we eat, and then can turn it back into dirt.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday, and boy, it was a wet one. We've had a little bit of everything in the Wenatchee area, mainly snowfall, at least in the Wenatchee Valley, and just a little higher elevations picking up some good snow right now. This is actually our Lake Wenatchee Skyfire, I should say our tower cam up at Lake Wenatchee, and you can see the snow is falling, and we are picking up some good amounts of snow in the mountains, and that will continue. We're going to see moderate snow. In fact, Stevens Pass could see between 5 and 10 inches of snow tonight. Going to make for difficult travel. Also some tree damage. Power outages are possible. And then that snow could turn to some freezing rain. We could see up to 1/4 of an inch of ice on the roadways for area passes. So keep that in mind if you're traveling tonight. We are still under a winter weather advisory. That will go until 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and it's basically right here in this purple circle. And here we are in Wenatchee, Chelan, and all points into western Chelan County. Driving conditions will be really tricky. Stevens Pass, also into Blewett Pass. Freezing rain, also a possibility for us. So this advisory will go until 4 a.m. tomorrow. Really, folks, if you don't have to travel tonight, please don't do it. And then as we get into Wednesday and the storm system moves through, it's going to drag some very gusty winds with it. In Wenatchee, we could see gusts between 35 and 40 miles an hour. Not quite as bad for Moses Lake or for Omak, but we are going to see it right here. Wenatchee Plain down into Ellensburg, and that's as that storm system moves through. We'll probably see a wind advisory when we talk again tomorrow. All right, today's high temperature unofficially right where we should be for this time of year, 33 degrees. We warmed up 1 whole degree throughout the day today. Our normal low is 24, by the way. Record high, 52 degrees. That was set in 1998. Record cold, and it was cold, 12 below zero back in 1964. We've picked up almost 1/4 of an inch of precipitation. That's without this updated precip that we had this afternoon, so we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But that gets us to just under 6.6 inches for the year, and we're about 6/10 below where we should be for this time of year. Picked up 3 more inches of snow yesterday, so going back into November, the 5 inches Friday night into Saturday morning, and then yesterday we're now at 11 inches of snow for the season. Sunrise 7:43, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:11. All right, temperatures as we get you into Wednesday, and look at this, a big warm up tomorrow. 47 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 46 in Quincy, 44s for Wenatchee, Eniat, Chelan, and up into Omak. Lower 40s then in the upper valley. Lake Wenatchee, the cool spot at 40 degrees tomorrow. And that's all because we're going to see some windy conditions, and we'll talk about that in a second. Tonight we can expect evening rain and snow to continue, and then we'll just be mostly cloudy. I think this wet stuff will last until about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, and then we'll see, well, not clearing, but the precipitation end. Mostly cloudy late, low 30s for low temperatures tonight. Getting into Wednesday, good chance that we're going to see some more morning rain and snow showers. Windy as well, with those 35 to 40 mile an hour gusts possible on Wednesday. It will warm up. We'll see highs in the mid 40s. It's all because of this strong southerly flow bringing that warmer air our way. Mostly cloudy for Thursday. It will be cooler than Wednesday, but still above normal with mid to upper 30s expected. expected by Thursday afternoon. As we get you into the end of the week on Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Not a bad way to end our work week. Mild temperatures with afternoon highs around 40 on Friday. But look at all the activity in the Pacific. You know what that means for us on Saturday. Cloudy skies, not so much a rain event Saturday to start our weekend. I think most of the activity will be in western Washington and very light Saturday. Highs around 40 degrees. But by Sunday, that's where our chance for precip goes up. Cloudy skies, this area of low pressure nudges just a little bit closer to Washington State. That will bring us an 80% chance of rain mixed with snow. We might even see all no snow on Sunday. High temperatures then in the upper 30s. And then kicking off our Christmas week on Monday, morning rain and snow a possibility, mostly cloudy in the afternoon. And temperatures really not bad for this time of year. Monday's highs in the upper 30s. Taking a look now at your 7-day forecast. 32 overnight tonight. Looks like a dry day tomorrow after maybe a morning sprinkle or two. But look at that temperature, 44 degrees with a lot of wind on Wednesday. 37 and mostly cloudy Thursday. 40 with some clouds on Friday. And then back to the wet weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning with high temperatures generally in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Good Tuesday to you as the Washington State Cougar football team prepares for next Friday's Holiday Bowl. They learned last night they'll be without their quarterback. John Mateer, one of the most prolific QBs in the country, announced he will enter the transfer portal and no longer be a Coug. Coach Jake Dickert responded to the news he and the team received on Sunday night.
You know, met with John last night. Came back from his sister's graduation, had a lot of good family time. You know, we talked about that last week on Friday. He has to make a big decision for his life, and college football is in a different place than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, however we remember it. You know, John will be the most sought-after player in the portal. I think he's going to be the best player in the country next year, and he informed us that he is, in fact, going to hit the portal. Biggest thing for our program is it proves once again our process is working. Our process is working, right? We're offering a bunch of kids that have no other Power 5 offers. We're developing into something really, really special. And I've said a lot about things the last couple of weeks. You know, I talked in signing day about the recruiting calendar being messed up and we got to change it. You know, I talked last Friday, you know, there's $800 million of new Power 4, you know, rev share money that's infiltrated into the system right now. And, you know, backups at that level are getting 50 to 100,000. So college football is in a little bit of a weird place. As Cougs, I'm really proud that we'll continue to adapt. You know, with the new type model and the equivalency model, you know, I've talked to Ann and she's been very supportive that we will enhance kind of our scholarships to get more players to create more depth for us moving forward. So we'll need to do that. We'll need to continue to attack this process. I'm excited for this opportunity for Zevi. He's done a really good job throughout the course of the season, being a great leader, being a great teammate, staying really positive, being a backup, and you know, just really excited about that opportunity for him. So, you know, our team is united. We had great energy today, and we're ready to attack what's next.
Apparently, the Cougar fan base raised $1 million to try to keep Mateer in the Palouse, but failed. While his teammates are disappointed, they understand the lure of big money.
Yeah, so he let the guys know last night just what was kind of going on, just saying that he was going to hit the portal. Obviously, always hard kind of seeing a teammate leave. Really, it goes for all the guys that have left just these past few weeks. Wishing the best for them all. Yeah, just hoping they have the success they're looking for.
Yeah, you know, it's hard, especially when you like a guy and he leaves. But you know, I wish him the best of luck in all his endeavors, and you know, the Cougs will keep pushing on. You know, you don't take the days for granted. You make every day count, and you know, it's crazy because a lot of times you don't know what's going to happen. So you love the guy up next to you, and you try to come in with that hard hat mentality and bring your lunch pail. And tomorrow's not promised, and that's how it is. It could be an injury, it could be, you know, transfer, it could be something else, some sickness, and they're not there. So you just cherish the time you have with those guys.
Senior Zevi Eckhouse will start for Washington State when they face Syracuse next Friday in San Diego, and the Holiday Bowl, that's at 5 o'clock on Fox. Well, the Seahawks are still reckoning with what happened in Sunday night's 30-13 loss to Green Bay. Quarterback Geno Smith went down with a knee injury in the third quarter as the Seattle offense continued to sputter, allowing 7 sacks on the night. Now, Coach Mike Macdonald had some positive news about Smith's injury in Monday's press conference.
You know, we're fortunate, so a lot of positive like optimistic signs come out of the tests. So Geno's a beast, man. He's in here working out in the morning, working through it. I mean, I know he's still feeling it, but this guy's tough as nails, and hopefully we'll see him practice, you know, throughout the week with optimistic and be ready for the game.
What's the designation of the injury? Is it a sprain? Is it something different?
To me, give you like the exact thing. I think structurally it's all there. We're rolling, but yeah, it's a knee right now.
At this point, would you anticipate him getting most of the snaps with the ones this week?
I'd say I'm optimistic that he'll get most of the snaps.
Seattle's defense got off to a slow start against the Packers, allowing 2 touchdown drives to start the game. McDonald was asked about the play of Reek Woolen, who continues to struggle at times this season.
It wasn't Reek's best game, but he's a guy that we're going to continue to lean on and trust to make plays for us and lock down his area of the field. I think Reek's tackling well. He's doing a lot of good things. When the ball doesn't come his way, there's a reason where they're not throwing in his direction. But there's just a couple plays right now per game where we just, you know, want more from him, and he knows that, and he's the first one to tell you. On the DPIs, we're looking for some clarity on that, on some of the coaching points of how we want those guys to play those plays, because the underthrown deep ball is a tough play to make, man. Like, those guys are moving really fast, and they're trying to make the smart decision, make plays on the ball, and there's a timing mechanism to it when the ball gets there, so it's a tricky play. So understand why they threw the flag, but probably want some more clarity on it.
Seattle's preparing to host the 12-2 Minnesota Vikings this Sunday at Lumen Field. A game set to kick off at 1:05 on Fox. Seattle Kraken wrap up a quick 4-game homestand tonight. Seattle's hosting Ottawa at Climate Pledge Arena. 7 o'clock game time. That'll be broadcast on Kong TV. Meanwhile, Haley Van Lith is leading TCU into a non-conference game today in women's college basketball. The 5th-year senior will lead the Horned Frogs against Samford. That's Samford. That's on ESPN+. Local schools are still active with the winter sports schedule as they near their holiday break. Girls basketball scheduled. Quincy visits Selah. Freight is hosting Grandview. Nespelem plays at Soap Lake. Cashmere hosts Kiona-Benton. Chelan is supposed to be at Omak, but that game's been postponed to tomorrow night because of inclement weather. Okanogan's hosting Tonasket. Manson plays Liberty Bell. Oroville welcomes Bridgeport. Etienne travels to Cascade Christian. Moses Lake is hosting Walla Walla. On the boys' schedule, Pateras visits Wilson Creek. Moses Lake Christian plays at Warden. Soap Lake hosts Nespelem. Quincy's at Selah. Cashmere welcomes Kiona-Benton at 7:15. Chelan and Omak are postponed till tomorrow. 7:30 games have Tonasket at Okanogan. Liberty Bell hosts Manson. Bridgeport's at Oroville. Cascade Christian hosts Etienne. And the wrestling schedule. Quincy, busy spot tonight. Eastmont faces Medical Lake first, and then Quincy will take on the Royal team. Then at 7 o'clock, Eastmont takes on Quincy, while Royal takes on Medical Lake. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. When you have a second, we'd love for you to take our online survey about NCWLIFE news and programming. Your responses will help us better serve the North Central Washington community. You can find that survey on our website at ncwlife.com. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.